Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have one news that was briefly mentioned and we're briefly gonna mention it, and we have some other things that I kind of talked about, and it's starting, it's getting there. So first of all, let's briefly mention the Russian warship fires on German helicopter over the Baltic Sea amid escalating Moscow-NATO tensions. So they just there was just this reconnaissance helicopter, because they don't have drones apparently, or satellites that they continually use. They just, fly very close to some Russian ships. And one of them fired at them, just showing them they mean business. That is briefly being mentioned because you should probably know, I guess. So we are moving to something very much different, because we're moving to China. Because I talked about this, that China is going to beat up Americans, not with weapons, not with war. They're gonna beat them up with money, and they're working on it. They're making very smart moves, and right now US is going to basically pay for everything. So now we had Trump say that he's gonna impose basically sanctions, 100% tariffs on all the imports from all the BRICS countries that are for creating a new currency, BRICS currency. And China doesn't care. As I said, they wouldn't care, because they can just stop exports to China, to the US, and the only one who's gonna suffer is, well, you guessed it, the US, the one that needs stuff, not the one that sells them. So first we have China slaps sanctions on 13 US military firms over Taiwan arms sale. Now, I don't know if this is about Taiwan buying weapons from the US, but I know it's gonna hurt. It doesn't have to be. Maybe this is just an excuse or whatever, but they're doing it. Because this is sanctions. This is very well targeted sanctions. So we have here, China has decided to impose sanctions on 13 US military firms from Tuesday in response to the US arms sale to Taiwan. The foreign ministry said after the United States, Taiwan, bullshit. Okay. The step follows China's strong objection of the United States authorizing a potential 385 million sale of spare parts and support for F-16 jets and radars to Taiwan, which Beijing said undermines its sovereignty and territorial integrity. They have every right, because US did sign that China even in Taiwan, that Taiwan is not a country. So selling them weapons when China doesn't agree, you're breaking the law. So now they're gonna impose some sanctions. Now, what are these sanctions really about? Because they say here, oh, they're, imposing sanctions and whatever, but what is really gonna happen? Well, this is what's gonna happen. China banned shipments of gallium, germanium, Germans not gonna export any more Germans to the US, and antimony and so-called super hard materials to United States due to their military and civilian uses. So they're banning exports to the US of these super hard materials that US and these 13 US companies, military firms are using to build weapons. So you have, this is why I'm saying this is very strategic. This is not some nonsense sanctions like, ooh, no more coffee cups for you. This is very strategic because everybody's aware, especially China. They are very well aware that US only income comes from selling weapons. This is the only thing they're producing. And now China struck exactly where it hurts the most. And this is, they're telling us this is about, Taiwan or whatever. This is planned long ago. This doesn't have... US has been supplying Taiwan for a very long time. But right now, they're trying to hurt them financially. This is not just, because of Taiwan and whatever. This is about breaking down the US and their colonies. They're gonna do it. So, what impact will these restrictions have on US national security interests? Well, these things are viral inputs for defense technologies. China is making significant investment in munitions and acquiring high-end weapon system and equipment at a rate that is 5 to 6 times faster than that of the United States. What is this telling you? Well, arms manufacturing in China is 5 to 6 times greater than the one in the US, which means their stockpiles are full and they're producing so much, they're gonna be the next ones to start selling this to the rest of the world and make even more money, like they don't have enough already. So this is this is gonna be interesting because US, this is the only thing they have. You remember when Biden said about Russia, like, oh, Russia has only nukes, gas, and oil. That's it, they have nothing. Well, US has nukes and weapon production. So they're gonna cut down on nukes. I mean, they're gonna cut down on weapons, but they're still gonna have nukes. But if this continues and some more sanctions appear, they're really gonna end up having even no nukes because you have to deploy those nukes with something. As technology goes forward, new missiles are being developed, you kind of have to follow that race, and in the end, if you are a weak country, you cannot produce or, fund research for the new weapons. You're gonna have outdated missiles that are supposed to carry these nukes, and everybody's gonna have defense systems against these outdated missiles, so you're gonna end up even having basically no nukes. You'll have nukes, but you're not gonna have any way of sending them where you want it. So US is collapsing financially, US is collapsing even militarily, and very soon their sphere of influence is going nowhere. President-elect Donald Trump has promised to get even tougher on China once he's inaugurated, promising tariffs of in excess of 60% on the country. It's not 100 anymore, it's 60 now. China's latest move against the US on critical minerals will only embolden Mr. Trump to follow through and possibly go even further. Whoever this guy is, he's an idiot. Yes, this is what's happening. But to go even tougher now. So you push forward, China just matches you. And you want to push forward, so China once again matches you. How far do you think you can go? You don't have any money. You just last year borrowed a bunch of money from China, and now you are doing this, or it was this year, I don't really remember, when you raised your debt ceiling a little bit more. This is stupid. You can't push with China. You're not gonna win. And they just started. This is the first step. These are the first sanctions that are gonna hit hard, exactly where they're supposed to hit, and they're gonna hit there. And the US is gonna feel it. It's gonna feel very bad. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Make sure you subscribe. I'll keep letting you know what they're cooking while you're not looking. And I'll see you on the next one.